Hello, welcome back. Skyrim Addict podcast. It's a Tuesday. We're recording. We don't have an official calendar in our virtual studio here, so I'm here. Victor's here.
Good evening.
Ray's with us this week.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did. I confessed to missing the recording on the last Fallout feed.
Yeah, we hopped into the studio last week and we're like, oh, it's been about 15 minutes. I don't know where Ray is.
Yeah, just had a nice chat, you know.
Yeah. We assumed you lost track of the days, that's all.
Yeah. So about midnight, I saw the messages and I'm like, shoot. Today was Monday, right?
Yeah, so we had a bunch of stories from Dave. I had kind of went through them last week in the sense of off the record. Last week I talked to him about them a little bit. But I'm going to record one or two of them for this episode as well. And also there's a bunch on the website, which I will link to in the show notes for everybody. But I have he's kind of expanded out to multiple different characters, and I've been really enjoying the stories. There was some that just came in today, actually, right before we recorded. I saw the email and started reading through some of those. But if you love the stories of Elder Scrolls and stuff, it really scratches that itch for sure.
Totally, yeah.
And he does such a great job of taking, the story that we all know from playing over and over and over again, and puts little twists on everything.
Yeah.
So it kind of weaves, his story into stuff we already know. So it's very interesting.
And some nice sort of just writing flourishes too. He's a good writer. So yeah,
it must be the Scottish blood.
Probably.
Clearly, he's a bard.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah. There was one I was reading this evening about kind of delves into Winterhold, and Winterhold's so nice and mysterious as it is anyway because of the whole collapse and all that kind of thing, that there's a lot to play with there. You know what I mean? So it I really dug the vibe of that one. There's so much that can be added on to the mages, to the College of Winterhold, to that whole storyline, and to the city itself. Since there's, you're only seeing pieces of it in the Skyrim era versus the other years where it was much more expansive.
Yeah.
I started reading that one too, and I was really caught by the fact that when you go there, you have to cast a spell.
Yes.
You cast it perfectly and everything is great, and off you're all just happy and off you go. But you're going there to learn how to cast spells.
Yes. So why do you have to know how to cast one before you get there?
And so the thought that attempting to cast a fear spell on the emblem might go wrong and you might scare the bridge.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's interesting. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's some mods that actually reflect that too. That I forget, this is called the as it should be, or whatever series of mods where you have to have a certain level of magic to actually even entertain to have what's her name even talk to you. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that actually is a nice mod add-on, to be able. So you have to actually learn a little bit before you get there, or even within the game, right? There's a function where if you're Dragonborn, you can get in some way, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you can speech persuade.
If
you you can use that but that still depends on speech level.
That's true. That's more dependent on speech than actually being the Dragonborn itself. Speaking of mods, there's been some on Reddit where there's always consternation about everything. But there's been some consternation about the and this is everything in life in general at this point. AI slop kind of entering the Nexus.
Good Lord.
and like AI mods entering the Nexus and being like, I don't know if they're actually being upvoted or just being like thrown in there and getting enough upvotes or whatever. So that seems to be, I don't know if it's something that's been resolved or anything you guys have noticed. I haven't really noticed it because I guess I'm not looking for the things that are popping up in that way. So that's kind of fortunate, I guess, for me. But I don't know what mods those are affecting or what things people are throwing out that are just, vibe coded or whatever and thrown in there just to get up votes. And if it's messing up kind of the economy in there or anything. I mean, other than messing up the general economy in life.
Let's be real here. I mean, there have been pieces of crap junk mods for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new if there's some AI, there's nothing wrong with vibe coding. It's actually pretty amazing process. But I have to confess, I know nothing about it.
Yeah,
I've just me though.
Yeah, I've just seen some consternation about it is all. And I guess the issue is the people putting them in there can't support the mods because they actually don't know. It's not like I know coders who use vibe coding that actually, then they could go in and fix it. I guess this is people who are just doing it with no ability to actually update or maintain or in any way repair the mod. You know what I mean?
I guess the point is that the AI supposedly makes it even easier to do what people were already doing.
Yeah,
which is produce crappy mods that they don't support.
That's fair. I guess it's probably the influx of them versus them existing has been the issue.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the clearest evidence of that is my Fallout feed flag mod. So, back many years ago, I made a Fallout 4 mod for the Fallout feed.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
I took the Preston's group.
The Minutemen?
The Minutemen.
Yeah.
I took the Minutemen flag and I put the Fallout feed logo on it.
Oh, yeah.
And once I put it up on Bethesda.net, it became clear in use that I had actually reversed the base of the model. And so on one side, you could see the flag, but if you were looking from the other side of the flag, you could see through it. So it was like a one-way mirror.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
Because I didn't realize there were two sides to the model. So
makes sense. Yeah.
So that was my my one and only attempt at modding.
Yeah, it's amazingly detailed and complex, isn't it?
Yeah. And then once I realized what had happened, I never went back and fixed it.
Well, if you're playing
we
with
just
the flag
we just
mod.
called it we just called it a feature instead of a bug.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Could you put it on a wall and have a two-way mirror, essentially?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's actually kind of a feature,
I think Andrew discovered it when he had put it on a one of the vendor booths.
Oh, cool.
And so when he was standing behind the vendor booth, he could see through, to the other side. But if somebody was outside looking at the booth, they would see the flag.
Oh, interesting. That is kind of a feature, actually, when you think about it. But
completely unintended.
Oh gosh,
seems like something the railroad would use rather than the Minutemen. But
that's fair.
Yeah. I hadn't been in Nexus in a long time because I've been doing everything through Wabbajack lately.
Yeah.
And so I haven't.
Well, Wabbajack uses the Nexus, so right. So you actually by default you were, but not
right.
Not directly.
But I wasn't. I wasn't in Nexus looking at what's new.
Yeah, neither have I, because recently it's just been mod packs, so it's like I haven't really like kind of combed through and looked for individual things in a while. So I was like kind of unaware of it. It just kind of popped up in the Skyrim modding subreddit or whatever it was, and some people were having issues with it or whatever. But it's always hard to parse through what's actually an issue and what's just Reddit. You know what I mean? That's always,
well, there's one never ever would pass up an opportunity to clutch one's pearls. so at least once or twice a day anyway.
Yeah, like would it surprise me that there's a lot of AI slop? No, because it's like everywhere at this point. So like I don't know, you can't even look at a poster for a brewery or something without like it entering your vision. So it certainly wouldn't stun me if there was a proliferation of AI slop mods for sure.
And it's not all slop either, which is
that's yeah. Otherwise, I did start a character since the last time I had to re-download everything. I figured out that apparently my Skyrim was still in the programs files folder for some reason. So I rectified all that and re-downloaded and cleaned everything up and reinstalled Gate to Sovngarde mod pack and did a dark elf necromancer and started out with I don't know what mod adds it, totally forget, but there's like a storyline for a backstory for your character, and I had a traveling companion that's lost somewhere, so I have a note giving a general location of where they're lost, like what region they're in, and that there's kind of the features of the area they're lost in. So clearly it was like a Falmer cave because it was like glowing mushrooms or something. Ended up so I was like, because you get a hit on your, I think for me it was magicka regen was like minus 10% or something. So I'm like, I will like make this my first quest. I'll go search this out at like a level 2 or whatever the hell I was. And it happened, I finally found it, and it was Chillwind Depths. So, which was fun at level 2, I'll say, as a conjurer, necromancer. It took me at least 3 in-game days to go through the cave, because I had to like go back out, sleep, heal, eat, go back in, go further down into the cave. Sometimes they would because of the mechanics that Gate to Sovngarde adds, they'll chase you out of the cave. So I got to make sure they don't chase me out of the cave, or I'm not going to get, because there's that outside of Chillwind, there's that little camp along the river. So I didn't even have to set up camp or anything. I just went to those tents and was able to sleep there. And all that. So, but yeah, it was like 3 or 4 in-game days. I finally got through and got to the person I had lost apparently along the way, and restored my magicka regen, and slogged my way through slowly, raising zombies until they were gone, and conjuring wolves and then dire wolves as I got a little further along. So it was really fun, like slow tactical playthrough where I had to make sure I didn't get too close to where I was conjuring things or raising things so nothing would find me. And it was just like a slow, easy play. Not easy, slow, arduous play, I think maybe would be the better description of what happened. But
you play on legendary?
God, what was I? No, I was was it master right below that?
Yeah.
I think I was still on master for my previous character and didn't realize it, which also made it extremely also a little extra difficult to be fair. But I was like, I'm just going to stay with it and just slowly just take my time and, pick one thing off at a time, as I have to go through this. And if I have to leave and come back and, replenish or whatever, that just kind of is what it is. But, so that was kind of just where I left off. I ended up heading back after that, like heading back to Whiterun to like sell some things and sleep at the inn and relax and kind of get my character rejuvenated to kind of go off on another mission. Oh, and I went off to was it White River Watch? Why can't I remember the name of it? The one right outside of Whiterun, up on the hill. Yeah.
It's White River Watch.
White River Watch. Yeah,
with Haj something or other, the guy with the
yes,
fists.
Yeah, the two-handed gauntlets.
And with the blind guy when you enter the cave.
Yeah.
Who in this apparently something in there makes him like a level 20 character.
Oh, awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And
he deserves a little help.
Yeah, I was still in like single digits at that point. So I was like, the first time I went in, I got rocked pretty good. I was dead pretty quick.
He is a grizzled old man.
He definitely is, and he definitely took care of me very quickly.
Good.
But
he probably deserved it.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. I think I'm only halfway through that cave at this point, to be fair. I'm about halfway up. And there's an expansion of that dungeon with the mod pack.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more people in there. So I'm kind of taking my time going through there at this point. But that's just kind of what I've been generally playing outside of playing Hitman constantly. So there is that. But in Skyrim, that's what I've been playing. So that's me. That's where my gameplay is.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit that not only have I not played Skyrim for probably 3 months, I haven't played a game period for probably about a month and a half. So I'm in a no game kind of
nice break
right now. Yeah. I mean, I sort of dabbled a little bit in Valheim last night and a couple nights ago, and I have downloaded several new to me games, including the remake of Gothic.
Oh.
And so I dove into that for about an hour, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And all I could think of was, it was great in its time, but I'm already playing a game that's a hell of a lot better than that, even though I played it 100 times. So, enough of that. And right now, the game that's really I'm gonna, I think, dive into soon is Doom Dark Ages. I really loved the last 2 iterations of Doom. So, but that's it. I'm just not playing right now, hardly at all.
It's good to take a break.
I think so. I think it really is. Yeah.
It kind of like refreshes you for things. Like yeah. I definitely go in phases with it. I've been, only playing a little bit of Skyrim here and there. I dabble it in because I'm like at the point where I want to return to it, but I don't want to like fully be in it. So I play where I'm satisfied and like I said, go through like Chillwind Depths where I took my time and went through there, then took a break and then went through White River Watch where I'm still partially through that. And then I've been playing like Hitman in between where that I can just hop in, play for 10 minutes or whatever. And like,
that's fun. And I can do that with Valheim when I do enjoy. I guess I'm kind of, I don't know, waiting for something to just really catch me and pull me in. And nothing really has. Windrose tried and it was good, but it was limited. And maybe when that comes out in its full release, it'll be fun. There's a few games that are on the horizon. Light No Fire is looking amazing. I keep seeing videos from that. So that might be.
Is there an actual release date for that yet? Do we know?
No.
Yeah. Probably not even this year, I don't think.
Yeah. Because I just saw it's been, 10 years for No Man's?
Yeah. Yeah, that was just this past Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane that it's been that long. Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, I did. I bought it day one. I had it and played it. Yeah. A decade.
Yeah, it was just after I moved here. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So. But yeah, there's some fun. There's been some fun games out there for sure. Played like 20 minutes of Mouse PI for Hire. That was fun. It's definitely a 30s style animation.
Oh, cool.
Noir detective.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That sounds fun.
It didn't draw me in any more than 20 minutes. So.
Yeah. On the dark side of retirement,
Wait, what?
Sometimes you have too much time to play games.
This is true.
And it's easy to burn out on stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
And I had I'd been hitting. So I've got 2 different mod setups for Starfield. So I've got the Genesis, which is the Star Wars remake, and then I started playing with one called Nova Field, which is kind of a hardcore enhancement because I really liked the sound of their alternate start, and so I was playing a lot of that. I was playing a lot of Nordic Souls on Skyrim, and just found myself with not much left to do with the characters that I had put together.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of floundering around looking for something to do. Couldn't find anything, that I wanted to do, and so I picked up Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
Because I was going to try something that was completely out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
My whole extent of Dungeons and Dragons was Skyrim 10 AD with
yes,
with that
Colin.
group.
Colin.
Yeah. And so I thought, what the heck? So it's been fun. There's a lot to learn on this. So
yeah, Kate and Sean, like all my kids, but Kate and Sean love Baldur's Gate 3. Kate's played it through, I think, 2.5, 3 times now. So yeah, they're huge fans. So yeah, you enjoying that style? Because did you play any of the Divinity games?
No.
Yeah.
No. I the only thing outside of first person that I've ever played is was Mass Effect.
You didn't play Witcher?
No, never did play Witcher. Yeah. Because I played Mass Effect first and hated third person.
Yeah.
So, but I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm not a big. The turn-based stuff is not something I like.
Yeah, turn-based is tough. I agree.
Yeah. Sean loves that,
and there's just so much going on that I have no idea, and I'm slowly but surely figuring it out, and it, but the story is very interesting, so that's kept me going, and it definitely likes to. Punish you for anything you don't do perfectly right.
Yep.
So, and oddly enough, I do enjoy that. So, but I have been playing a lot with Nordic Souls. It's been a fun mod pack.
Yeah, I've looked at that one. How's it balanced?
So it's it's got all of the Simon Magus stuff in it, and so it's a little bit a little bit tougher than regular Skyrim. It's got a lot of fun mods in it, and so it's called A Horse's Life instead of Convenient Horses, which is a Dark Fox mod. And that's been kind of interesting, so you can find, packs of wild horses, in various places, and you can grab them and but you have to register them for them to be your horse. So you have to go pay a blacksmith.
Okay.
Well, not a blacksmith, the horse guys.
One of the stables. Yeah.
So you have to sort of tame them, but then bring them to that's sort of same, similar thing in Convenient Horses.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you can also not register them.
Oh.
And so you can have a wild horse that you can still craft a saddle for them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
The thing that I really like about it is that there's a bounty if you steal a horse.
Oh, wow.
I've always thought it was weird that, that if you steal a horse, they take it out on the horse. And like,
That's
it's
fair.
not the horse's fault they were stolen.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, they could have tried to buck me off, but yeah, because they'll always attack the horse whenever you're riding a stolen horse. So this one actually gives you it's in the MCM. You can control how much of a bounty, but it stocks at 200 gold. So
it's a pretty solid bounty within the game. I mean, outside of like murdering guards,
well, especially since it's so hard to make money with their, improved air quotes economy system.
Oh, is gold a lot harder to come by in Nordic Souls?
A lot harder to come by.
Oh boy.
Especially if you're planning on doing any training.
Oh, okay.
Oof,
yeah.
That's rough. It's got a traits mod in it. Kind of an interesting twist on the skill books. So the mod's called Reading is Good.
Oh yeah, I've played.
And instead of it finding a book and it adding 1 point to your skill, it gives you a 10% increase in the rate of learning. So everything you do gets a bump. So if you find all the books, then you've got a 50 or 60% increase in skill learning. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a cool mod. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bump.
One bummer is they take away all the free houses.
Oh.
So, you can go to Mirwatch, and there's no chorus.
But you got to buy it.
But you also can't just walk in and take the place. You have to pay for it.
Oh.
And so, there's also, an MCM that sets the level at which you can even interact with them. And so I think it's set at like level 35.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's which is also rough because it's not easy to level up in this, so.
Yeah. Well, is there a leveling mod? In other words, it's not vanilla leveling.
Yeah. No, it's, because a lot of this, I think some of it has to do with the economy because like with smithing, you can do a bunch of daggers, but they're not, they become, decreasingly valuable.
So it's discouraging grinding.
Yeah.
I'm behind that. I hate
I like that.
Yeah.
So, but it's been fun. I did a Thieves Guild character with it because they've got a Thieves Guild mod in it where so when you walk into Riften for the first time, Brynjolf doesn't come running over to you trying to get you to join the Thieves Guild.
I've played with that mod a lot. Yes.
Yeah, I do like that
very
one
much. Yeah.
And so you have to have a sneak level. You've had to have pickpocketed a certain number of times, and you have to have stolen a certain number of items, and that's all set in the MCM.
Right, you can change that. Yep.
But that was very cool. I enjoyed that.
I'm pretty sure that Thieves Guild mod is part of the same series of mods that I was talking about with College of Winterhold. I forget the series of what it's called. But anyway, yeah, that's whoever the author is did all the guilds maybe, but certainly the Mages Guild and the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, and I haven't done a Mages character in this mod pack, so it could be that it's got that Mages Guild mod in there too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's like adds prerequisites essentially, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've definitely played with the Thieves Guild one before.
And then it also uses timing is everything.
That's an old Cryptopeer mod. Yeah.
Yeah. That sets levels for all the different quests to pop up.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I usually have that available on. I haven't used it in every, but that's an excellent mod. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's a good pack. It doesn't go overboard on the difficulty. There's a lot of interesting tweaks. One of the things that I haven't really played with. There's an add-on to Adamant, the perk overhaul that adds hand-to-hand.
Mm-hmm.
So now unarmed combat, has its own skills that you can level up.
Yeah, I've never used that. I really like his the Simon Magus shouts mod a lot better than the. Although I mean the Eni Shion's shout mod, whatever Thunder Child, I think it's called.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. But the Simon Magus shout mod is I don't remember the details anymore because I haven't used it in a long time, but it's a completely different take on shouts, which is
yeah, and I haven't done none of my characters that I've played with so far in this have done dragons yet. So
yeah, I haven't played with dragons in quite a while. Now that you mention
yeah,
it's been a while.
It's easy not to.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
because they can be such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, the last character that I was playing and still is not active, but I haven't deleted any of it yet, so I can go back to it. Was this my Legacy of the Dragonborn? And I actually that was the first time I'd actually gone through all the way to Sovngarde and killed Alduin in a very, very long time. So eventually I'm going to go back to that.
Yeah. I think that was the last time I had done dragons as well. Was the last time I played Legacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I want to do a lot of the stuff that Legacy adds.
Yeah. You want to kind of because there's some of the quests don't kick off until you get to a certain point in like the main quest and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think Sovngarde also uses Adamant and has the hand-to-hand add-on as well, from what I recall.
Yeah. And I also like it has security, which combines lockpick and pickpocket.
Yeah. Oh, in the perk tree?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, because that's, those are two that you don't really often pay much attention to.
Yeah, you're right.
But, if you're going to, at least it's, all one.
Yeah.
And so, it makes it easier to level up in because you're just never going to pickpocket that much. Even if you make it a focus of a build, it's hard to pickpocket enough to get that to level up. So
yeah, you would literally have to be pickpocketing all game. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
And fortunately, you don't have to get that high in security before you get your pickpocket up, to a reasonable level. So it does, it does work out pretty good. But between picking locks, which you do a lot more of, and throwing in some pickpocketing, it levels up pretty smoothly.
Yeah, how's the combat in Nordic Souls?
It's okay. It's got a little bit of that, that weird dodgy, swingy, swishy, sword animation stuff.
Does it add the ability to like lock on the enemy as well?
Oh, I don't know, because I have the thief character. The only combat stuff I did was archery.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
and that was mainly just so that I could get through the Thieves Guild quest line.
Yeah.
Where you have to do a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Even though you're not supposed to, kill stuff as a thief.
Yeah, that's fair. But there ends up being more than you planned for.
Yeah. So I had to have something that I could fall back on. So.
Yeah, because Sovngarde definitely adds whatever different combat mods they have. One of them adds like locking on the enemy, which inevitably ends up screwing me up because I end up locked on an enemy when I don't realize it, and then I'm trying to like run away or sneak away, and I'm like being gravitated back to them.
Ouch.
And I'm like, no, like, no, I want to go this way. And it's like, no, you're locked on over here. This is where you're going, right? And it's like, no, not.
Okay, this one definitely didn't do that to me at all. So
yeah, you would definitely notice, like, because it's convenient at times. Like, I will say it's convenient for kind of like archery, if you're moving and shooting, or you're shooting moving targets in more of a archer to archer combat. Sometimes where you got to move back and forth and things like that. It is convenient in that way, but like if you're trying to run away and accidentally are locked on a target, it is really not convenient, and it does the exact opposite of help. So,
I agree. I don't use it even in games where it's built in.
Yes,
from the beginning. I rarely use lock on for exactly that reason, because I forget that I've used it.
Yeah, and then you try and do something else. Yeah, and then you end up
Yeah.
dying. Yeah, basically is what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, this one took a lot of practice to learn the drop off on arrows.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Is it one of those things where it's kind of too much physics?
I mean, it's hard to say it's too much, because it's definitely, at mid and close range, it's no problem at all. But, I like, if I'm going to do archery, I want to be so far away they can't see me.
Yes. Where they're like
I can just
this
barely
big.
make them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that takes a lot of arrows.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, if
Okay,
I'm doing archery, I'm like up on a cliff like a mile away, and they're a speck, and I want to hit them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I'm up there with my 50 caliber sniper rifle from 3 miles away.
Yeah. I'm liking that too. The series is called At Your Own Pace.
Oh yes, At Your Own Pace. Yeah.
And this Thieves Guild, it does College of Winterhold. I guess several of them, and they're all MCM compatible, so you can set whatever. There's a few other good Thieves Guild mods. There's Thieves Guild Redone.
Yep.
But Path of the Thieves Guild, but that's an armor mod. But anyway, At Your Own Pace is the one I've used most, and it's pretty good. It's exact. I think that's the one you were describing, Ray. And it's one where Feralda doesn't even show up or won't even talk to you unless you're at a certain level.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it does to the Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder what it would do to. Yeah. Do you have? Well, you have to commit a murder anyway to be picked up. So.
Yeah, there's that. And
I didn't see any MCM for the Brotherhood in this one.
Yeah. And you can combine it with stuff like Destroy the Brotherhood and stuff. I mean, they all work.
Yeah. Together. Yeah, and I think it does have something with that. It's a big list.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many mods exactly, but it seems to me it's over 1,500.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
The last few times I've tried to download a Wabbajack mod pack have been abject failures. I just sort of gave up. I don't know why. Something about my current system or something. It just glitches, and I've had the patience and desire to work that out in the past, because sometimes you can just work it out. You can find out which mods didn't download right and go down, do it manually. You have to go sometimes you have to go to separate websites that aren't Nexus stuff.
Yeah.
But the last couple of times I just gave up. So fuck it, I don't care. So,
I don't play a stupid thing anyway. Damn
I can't even say fuck this. I'm going to play Skyrim because that's
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it was funny. I was I forget what I was talking to him about, but it was somebody was asking about adding legacy to the Sovngarde mod pack, and there is a community add-on to be able to do it. And I was like, I don't generally prefer that, because for me, like when I play Legacy of the Dragonborn, like that's my focus. If I add it into the game, the museum becomes the focus of the game for me. Whereas the other mod packs, like whether it's like Nordic Souls or Gates of Sovngarde or whatever else, I want to experience what the play is like with those mod packs versus focusing on the museum. So I tend to keep it pretty clean if I'm doing a legacy playthrough, and it's like pretty minimally modded outside of, legacy and, the things you need for that and all.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
The predictability is nice. One of the things that about these mod packs is they make the game unpredictable.
Yes.
Because they've changed so many different things that it's hard to know exactly what's going to be where and what you're going to find, and so when you're trying to get stuff for the museum, you want that predictability. You want to know exactly what's what, when you can do what.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I keep it almost like vanilla plus at that point, because I like you said, you want the predictability, like, oh, I know I can go here and get these things and add it to this, or
well, one of the, I mean, I agree mostly, but to one of the nice things about Legacy is that they have included a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Not only do some old mods already are now built into Legacy, but they are compatible with a bunch of quest mods, and that actually adds some cool stuff that you can find. So, I mean, my Legacy playthrough that I like I said, it's still there. I didn't add a lot of quest mods, but it's compatible with Vigilant, so I have that in there. And I'm just looking at my mod organizer right now. All of these are known to be compatible with Legacy. Blades Overhaul, the Parthenax quest expansion, Into the Abyss. There's several of this. There's another series called Quest Expansion: College of Winterhold, House of Horrors, Infiltration, Innocence Lost, Whispering Door. Those are all part of that. But that's about it. And then I have the Simon Magus stuff loaded in, and a few other gameplay mods. But most of it is just quality of life, graphics mods.
Yes.
I really can't play Skyrim vanilla graphically. I just can't. So there's a lot of, and as many of JK's city and town mods as I can fit, and building mods I will stuff into any mod pack I possibly can. They're awesome.
Yeah, those are the kind of things like I'm putting in there, is like graphics, like JK's. I love those.
They're just
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe a few of the quests that are, really easily put in with Legacy, because there's so many of them that are, and like you said, so many are like included now also. So those are the things I'll kind of have with it. It'll be just pretty minimal like that, and then it just becomes, I'm playing essentially Legacy of the Dragonborn version of Skyrim versus playing Skyrim at that point, where Solitude becomes the focus instead of, say, like normally like Whiterun, or that area becomes the focus.
Yeah, totally.
It just shifts the focus of the game. So
I think where I left off was What's that?
I said I do love a good legacy playthrough, though.
Yeah, it's great. I just I'm such a slow burn on any game that I play that I after a while I sort of kind of just fall off for a while and then come back to it. I mean, I think my character is in Souls time right now, working through all of that. I mean, like in Valheim, I'm in like 640 days, and I haven't even gotten to the motor boss yet. So part of that's because of just okay. So a slight Valheim side quest here. I have never played a Valheim world. I've played a lot of them, a lot of seeds in Valheim. This current seed is beautiful. I love it, and I've explored a lot of it. But every single location for motor is either behind, or inside, or surrounded by mistlands.
Oof.
And that's really freaking tough because you need the motor dragon's tears to craft armor and weapons and things that help you through into mistlands. You also need Yagluth to actually, get the wisp lights that dispel the mists in mistlands. So trying to get to motor through the mistlands when you don't have the right stuff is disappointing. Yeah. So that's where I am with that. But anyway, that's a little Valheim aside. So that's why I sort of left off about 6 weeks ago. I just got really frustrated exploring and not finding what I need.
That's fair.
So,
that's fair.
Yeah. That's the thing about, random seeds, generated maps. They could be Sean, he sent me a picture of it before he dumped it, but his spawn seed put him in a tiny little patch of meadows surrounded by mountains. That's where his character spawned. Now, if you ever played Valheim, you know what it's like to, as a completely newbie character, if you spawned in the middle of a meadow that was surrounded by mountains. Yeah, try to get over those mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not enough meadows to get you to the point where you can
it's impossible.
Get anywhere near them.
Yeah. So that's anyway. Still a great game, and it is releasing in its version 1 is September.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy because I think I played it like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's and they have steadily, doggedly worked at it, kept it updated, kept going at it. It's wonderfully done. So version 1.0 is coming out in September.
Wow, amazing. Let's see. We had mentioned No Man's earlier. Is any news there? Any new updates or anything?
Well, so the day after the 10th anniversary, they released a video, thanking everybody and kind of recapping the last 10 years. And at the very end was a slide for a version that we haven't seen yet, which is Cosmos.
Oh, interesting.
And so it's not actually an announcement because it wasn't an emoji. So no emoji, no update. But it won't be a mystery what the name of the update will be when it finally does come. But
interesting.
The timing is TBD. So we don't know. So they almost always drop the emoji on Sunday and the updates on Wednesday. So we'll have to see what this coming Sunday has to offer.
So not even any speculation. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. No,
that's cool.
not a peep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It almost always is in August. So it should be in the next couple of weeks at least.
I wonder, yeah, it'd be very cool if some of what they're building for Light No Fire is going to appear in that. Might be fun.
Yeah, it almost certainly will, because that's been kind of the way things have been going.
Yeah.
As they come up with cool new stuff, they add it into No Man's Sky.
I guess that's kind of like what, isn't it? A little bit like what CD Projekt Red just did with that sort of out of the blue Witcher, DLC that just sort of appeared, which just depressed the hell out of me because just because I'd love to play it, but it means I really should go back and play through the whole rest of the game first, and I just can't bring myself to do that. That's too much for it.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see a lot of, of course, whenever we know there's an update coming, the wild speculation begins immediately.
Of course.
So
it's AI slop, I tell you.
There's so the little tidbit that they picked up on was that when Cosmos came onto the screen, each of the letters rotated into position.
Oh, good God.
And so now the supposition is that we'll get actual planetary rotation. Because currently, right now, the suns rotate around the planets.
Really?
Essentially, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
But the speculation is that with the Light Snow Fire, since that's a single planet, that they've developed the physics for planetary rotation, and that we'll get that into No Man's Sky.
Huh. So that means not only planetary rotation, but also planetary orbit around the sun.
Around the sun, yeah.
Interesting.
So you, by rotation, you mean rotation around the sun or rotation on the planet's axis?
Both is the speculation.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
And so the name Cosmos, is leading people to believe that it's the organization of the universe. So,
or it could be Carl Sagan is going to appear and
pops in,
on the planets.
Could be, or we'll get, or
he'll be the
Flora.
Hugin of No Man's Sky.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we'll see in the next week or so.
Oh, nice. That'll be good. Yeah, I had seen where in the 10 years since it's been released, less than 1% of the planets have been explored.
Yeah, I don't.
How accurate is that, you think?
Well, it's hard to say because there's trillions of planets.
Yeah, so that's probably pretty accurate then.
So,
because you're still looking at billions at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of galaxies that have had very little contact. Because either one, you're grinding to get through, galaxies, to get one to the next, because it takes a lot of jumps, even with a super high, level ship. I think it's typically maybe 700 light years from the outside to the center of a galaxy.
Oh, wow.
And, you're
that's in No Man's Sky universe.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a lot smaller galaxy than IRL.
Yeah, it's
yeah. Okay.
This is just in the No Man's Sky. So I don't know. It was taking me, I think, 20 or 30 jumps to get to the center of a galaxy, to get to the next galaxy. And so I think I made it about 25 galaxies before I finally gave up. So there's a lot of galaxies out there that have had little or no contact.
Yeah.
And so each one of those has thousands of systems, that all have, multiple planets.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense. I mean, even on if No Man's Sky is much smaller than our actual universe. I mean, if you look at Hubble in all the years that it's been in space or been viewing, I think it's what they say it's actually viewed 0.01% of the possible, of its range. So that makes total sense that in No Man's Sky,
so I mean, even in the Euclid galaxy, which is the the starter galaxy, it's still very easy to come across a star system that nobody else has been to yet.
Oh wow, yeah, and that's the starter one. Jeez.
And that's the starter one, which everybody's been there. So, yeah, it's not surprising that number holds up.
Yeah, anything with space and numbers is mind-boggling. That's for certain. Even like No Man's Sky space versus actual universe space, it's still the numbers are hard to comprehend. They're so large, you know what I mean? It's like you can say 1 trillion, but comprehending 1 trillion is a whole different ball game than actually hearing or saying the number when you start to put it together in actual terms. And what's been going on Fallout feed?
So right now we're doing the review of season 2 of the
show,
the Fallout TV show.
What's the general consensus?
They've been interesting. I think the three of us all liked the last episode.
Yeah.
The best of the ones we've done so far.
Yeah.
It's the one where you get introduced to the death claws.
Yeah.
And their death claws are super cool.
They're really well done, and they look
great.
They're right out of the game, basically.
Yeah,
well done.
Well, they're like the game on steroids, though.
Yeah,
they're a lot scarier looking than any of the ones in the game.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. Yeah. They did do a great job with the death claws for sure.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed season 2.
It was great. It's such a good, well done. Oh my god.
Yeah, and you never go wrong with being in New Vegas for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that game. So
yeah, well, okay. I'm going to say something that everybody's going to hate, but I'm really sorry Obsidian is doing another Fallout.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's just not my favorite studio.
Yeah,
so I've said it. I know, but
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Mostly due to the the people that are actually involved with it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me is just they got to get some freaking games out.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Instead of announcing more and more new ones that they're working on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If any studio can do it, it'll be Obsidian, right? They're going to get that game out probably before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
Yeah, that's certain. Yeah. Yeah, I know we haven't recorded since the whole layoffs issue, but this whole thing with like Microsoft, whoever, Disney, whoever you want to name, buying everything and putting it under Amazon, putting it under their umbrella, and then basically all these little individual companies become under this umbrella of these massive corporations that are so beholden to other things other than what the companies were originally doing. It's really like it's bad for everyone, but it's certainly in the gaming aspect. I think having all of those under one umbrella versus having them being individual studios is bad for us as
Yeah,
gamers in general.
I think she's doing the right thing to an extent, personally, and particularly that they're not liquidating, but they're spinning these studios back off, right? They're not.
Yes, I think at
closing
this
them
point,
down.
I understand that, but I just meant the process of it getting to this point
Yeah,
probably should have never happened to begin with.
Yeah.
but I think I assume they feel like Bethesda is a golden goose, right? I mean, because they're not throwing Bethesda out.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it does, you lose that, that unique,
Mhm.
perspective and the indie vibe. But I think they've been corporate so long now that,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
They being
they don't,
Bethesda, yeah,
yeah.
especially since ZeniMax and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
totally. Yeah, right.
That, the being part of Xbox can't really make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Just give me a game.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's been so long, and it'd be one thing if it was, if you look at, here we are, 10 years and, there's nothing from Hello Games except No Man's Sky, uh, I mean, they do have other games, but for the most part, but you look at how drastically different
Yes.
No
Yeah.
Man's Sky's become over those 10 years.
Well, and don't you think? I mean, the game development in general has changed so much just in the last 5 or 6 with the
Mhm.
sort of the almost, well, I don't want to say universal, but the acceptance of early access, right? So
Mhm.
you're releasing games that are like Valheim or many others that are, and No Man's Sky wasn't released that way, but it kind of ended up being
Kind of
that.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they hadn't really finished everything that they wanted to do.
Right,
Yep.
and so they were kind of the forerunner of that, even though it wasn't ever marketed that way.
Called that, yeah.
Yeah, and so perhaps they paved the way for all these other games like
Mhm.
Valheim to be successful with that. And certainly Bethesda has never been that kind of studio, right?
Yeah.
So they're caught in that mold of having to have a complete game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and, CD Projekt Red with, Cyberpunk,
Oh, yeah.
it was a good game when it came out. It was a little too, intense for the systems that they released it on.
yeah. And
And
it had some
so,
serious flaws too, but yeah.
I mean, but the only flaws I ever ended up with Cyberpunk were when they started releasing updates to fix things,
Oh.
Yeah.
and it just started breaking. Like, stop! It was better before.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
make a different game for those console people.
Yeah.
And so, but when they finally were like, okay, we need to fix this. We've gotten this black eye. We need to straighten it out. When they released the update on it, it's huge. It's such a good game, even better than it was before.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
and
awesome. That's well, and then they're a great studio, so that shouldn't be surprising, right? If they were given the time
Mhm.
to do it, and they
Yeah.
were able to. Yeah.
So, but I understand that Bethesda has been releasing games. I know what their what their release schedules look like.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that for Elder Scrolls, it's been
It's been nothing.
25 years.
Yeah, well,
15 years.
No, wait.
15.
They released the remastered version of Oblivion. Yeah, come on now.
Oh yeah.
Which was was great. It was fun.
It was super fun. Yeah.
That was a 4 or 5 month distraction.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't have the longevity. The remake didn't have the longevity.
Well, especially for you guys, you've played so much of it already. So.
So, but yeah, they just need to get some games out. Just get the games out.
Yeah, I agree. 15 years between Elder Scrolls games at this point is pretty crazy. And I don't even know is there a next gen console? I don't even know at this point. What are they even doing with that? Is that what they're waiting for?
Talk, right?
And also a new Xbox. I thought the new Xbox was supposed to be out in the next year or two.
Yeah, but Xbox is so limping compared to sorry. First of all, I dislike Sony, have for a long, long time, not just because of games, but because of photography and other things. And so to have Sony beat out Xbox this really annoys me. Because as a company, they suck.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So they shouldn't be in the position they're in, but they are the better console.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah,
it's too bad.
Yeah, just the way it is.
So
yeah, because I mean, is that part of the holdup? Oh well, we can't. I mean, I understand it's taking time. Regardless, it's not like it would have been out 5 years ago if it was another console. But is part of the slow walking it? Well, we don't have a console to put it on anyway.
Well, I don't think so because
I can't imagine their spec isn't that hard.
Yeah, that's I mean, it should be able to run on whatever the current, what is it, the X or whatever it's called now. I don't even know.
Right, but also this is Microsoft. It's Windows. It's 10 billion PCs out there that can run those games as well. So it's not. So I guess, but I get why they're keeping a studio like Bethesda because it's a AAA studio and they can release a big theoretically anyway. Release a big AAA game on their flagship, so to speak, console. But yeah, I mean, I'm a PC gamer anyway, so I really give a shit about consoles. That's the bottom line. But
and see, this is exactly why they need to release games because all we have to do,
that's right,
is mod the games we already have.
Yep. That's fun.
And bitch about not having a game.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's also fun.
Yeah, that is fun. Yeah.
So, if you want us to stop bitching about not having a game, give us a damn game.
Yeah, come on, guys. Let's do it. Yeah.
God, I can remember almost a decade ago talking about on this show about Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh yeah, totally. I do too. Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Well, and then the tragedy of what was it, the 2017 Xbox showcase or something like that.
Yeah,
They released the
little
the teaser.
Yeah.
What a stupid idea that was.
Because they made it seem like they were way closer than they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't imagine Todd Howard approved of that. I'll bet he was overridden on that one.
Yeah, I would assume that was a Microsoft hey, we want something out there.
Yeah.
To let people know what's going on kind of thing.
Well, because he's made it perfectly clear he doesn't want PEEP until it's ready to release.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it that way. I prefer that. People are going to speculate regardless. Yeah, but I'd rather speculate mindlessly than have little snippets to speculate about. I'd rather the surprise after the speculation than the other way around.
Yeah, and I think I gotta respect. Seemingly, anyway, they don't do crunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
They work on the game until it's ready, and then they release it.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, they made that pretty clear with Starfield.
Yeah,
when they pushed it off a year.
Yeah. They pushed it back a year.
So I can totally respect that. Yeah.
I just hope they've learned to support the game longer than they did with Skyrim and Fallout 4. Like as far as adding more content for longer periods of time.
Studio content.
Studio content.
Not it's not up to the modders to keep your game running.
No, but I also hope they keep the modding as open as they.
I agree. Yeah.
He claims they will, but
I think they have to. I think they have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'd have to release games more often.
Yeah. It does keep their games alive for an extremely long period of time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them any money. So
I mean,
why?
But it does.
Well, it does because
new
it's all pushed to creations.
Yeah. Well, there's that too. The creations plus new
but the real
people.
modding doesn't happen on creations. You know that. We all know that. The real modding happens at Nexus and
agreed.
So,
but
I don't know. Just check with King Gath.
Yeah, I think the spillover is
started on Nexus.
He did, but he hasn't done anything since.
Yeah.
Everything's been coming out through creations.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
And also, you're talking at this point, 15 years. You're talking whole new generation of players who may get into the game because of all the creations or whatever mods, everything else, and then are going back and buying the game because they were like Connor was 3 when it came out, so he's now 18.
My grandkids are playing Skyrim. Yeah.
It's like So it's like a whole, the modding.
My great grandkids.
I was about to say your great grandkids probably
before the next one's released, and they're 2 and 6 months.
This is fair.
Yeah, they may very well. Yeah.
So while the modding, they're making the money on the creations, obviously, as we know, but the Nexus modding or whatever else, they may not be making money directly, but it is keeping their property alive, which creates, revenue for them in the end, So it's like, it's like Disney using influencers. Yeah, they're not making money off of influencers, but those influencers are essentially selling their product for them. It's kind of a similar economy. They're selling the product to people who are then buying the product, and modders are selling the product to a new generation of people who are buying the product by, increasing the quality of the game, making it more of a modern day game, because we're 15 years down the road. Every time I hear that number, I'm like, oh my God, 15 years
oh
down
my
the
God.
road. Jesus.
Yeah, my daughter was a teenager when this game came out.
Yeah. I wasn't even retired then.
Yeah, I was in my 30s.
What?
I was in my 30s when the game came out. Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
And now I'm retired.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm not. And I'm older than both of you.
Eventually we'll get 3 for 3 on here. Retire.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
We'll all forget what day it is, and it won't matter.
No, I don't think I'm going to retire anytime soon. Even if I retire from West Point, I'll keep working.
Yeah, totally get that.
Well, with super unique skill sets.
Yes,
that's
just
easier
fun
to do.
Okay, before we go, can I just, because some of what I've been doing over the last 6 to 8 weeks of not playing games has been revisiting something. Now I know we all love fantasy fiction, and I started rereading this amazing trilogy called Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn by Tad Williams. Have you guys read that? I just want to put a plug in. It is a wonderful, amazing saga, beautifully written, and huge. The books are long and detailed, and I like to joke that if you took all the excessive adjectives out, you'd probably reduce them by about 100 pages each. But it's great writing, and
it's super great writing.
Super great.
Very
right.
great.
It's amazingly great to get an adverb in there too. But it is great. So
who's the author again?
Tad Williams, who wrote he wrote that book about cats. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, Tad Williams.
Oh,
Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. It's a trilogy. Actually, there's two. There's the first one was Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, which are, by the way, the names of 3 swords. And then there's another trilogy after that of the main character much later in his life. So it's a love story. It's a saga. It's good and evil. It's just all the good stuff that fantasy is so good at.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
I'm going to check that out. Because like Ray, I have free time also. So I will be.
The first book is called The Dragonborn Chair. So.
Ooh.
I've really enjoyed the Amazon Reacher series. Videos.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I decided to go back and read the books.
They're good.
Bad move.
No, they're good. I love them. Really?
Hated them.
Oh no.
Yeah, they were so dumb.
Yeah, they are. Of course they are. That's the whole point. Lee Child is like, yeah, these are dumb, but people love them. I'll keep writing. He's like,
they just became so repetitive that
I could see that.
I got through about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
And
I could see where it could become, a little.
But that's why. What's his name? Alan. Somebody is it?
Yeah,
Richmond?
Yeah, Richmond. That's it. Yeah.
Why he makes such a great Reacher, because he's like one-dimensional. That's the character. That's why Tom Cruise sucked as Reacher.
Yeah, the first one was decent. The second one, oof, that was rough. The second one was rough.
But the series,
especially because he's so little.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, and Rickman is he's perfect,
massive.
Size.
Yeah.
We just finished watching both seasons of Sugar. Have you guys watched that?
I've not. I've been wanting to start that though, because I just did.
It's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
What did I watch? I did the Cape Fear remake, and what's the other one with Matthew Reese on Apple TV? Bay. I forget.
Yeah.
It's like,
all I will say is Sugar has a sci-fi
element
to it. So it's pretty good.
Grab
and
that.
Colin Farrell. You can't hate Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I do love Colin Farrell. I will binge that next.
yeah, definitely. I recommend it.
Yeah, I had gone through all the Bosch again.
Oh,
Bosch is good. Yeah,
and so I was kind of floundering around looking for some. So I started watching the Rockford Files.
Ooh, the original,
James Garner. Yeah.
And one of the super cool things for me about all of those old, 60s and 70s TV is it's all set in LA.
Oh yeah.
And so, everything is relatable. I see places I've been, and all that kind of stuff. So then I pushed it even further and started watching Mannix.
Oh wow!
Which is a 60s, detective.
I remember watching Mannix. Yeah,
and the first episode they go up on the Palm Springs tramway. Which is so cool. Actually, the last time I was in California, earlier this year, I was trying to figure out how to squeeze a trip into the tramway.
Yeah,
because it's so it's an awesome ride up the side of the mountain. From the desert to the pines.
Yeah, I love watching stuff that's filmed in LA.
Yeah,
so
I really like.
But so that's been fun.
Yeah, Conley's latest detective. Yeah, he's a detective. His latest character is a sheriff on Catalina Island, and he's just tied that back in to Bosch and what's her name? Kate Ballard. So he's tying it all back in now. So that his characters are all sort of intertwined.
And which one's that?
I can't remember his name, but it's set on Catalina. Michael.
Okay.
Michael.
I vacationed on Catalina quite a few summers.
Yeah, so he's sort of a detective who had political problems in L.A. and got shunted off to Catalina to put him there, and because nobody liked him, yada 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 things happen. But the second book now they're chasing a serial killer. It's got anyway, all the characters are there,
as one does. Nice. Yes,
except Mickey. Yeah, he's not there yet.
Widow's Bay was the show I was trying to think of. I remember Widow's Bay. Okay. Yeah, but it's very good. All right, so I guess after this I'll have a couple of Dave's stories if you want to keep tuned in and listen to those. And also don't forget, in show notes you can check out where he has them posted so you can read them yourselves. Very enjoyable. If you love Elder Scrolls like we all do, they definitely scratch that itch for you.
Yeah, it's good writing.
Thoroughly enjoy them.
Yeah.
And you won't hear them in a Jersey accent if you read them yourself. So there's that. But till next time, when we all remember the dates and everybody reminds Ray what day it is before we record.
You guys even got my wife in on it.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll be back for you guys in September. Since is it August? It is. Jeez, it is very far into August. I can't believe it. But we'll probably be back in September. So thank you everybody for listening, and I guess keep as Andrew would say, keep Skyrimming? Remember that? That was probably a decade ago too, because we've been doing this for so long. So
yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
The Tales of Elaine Dunstane, The Chronicles of a Breton Hunter, Elaine Dunstane and the Problem of Higher Education. There are several ways to enter the College of Winterhold. The traditional method is to cross the bridge, demonstrate some elementary aptitude for magic, and try not to look down. The bridge deserves particular mention. It extends from the edge of Winterhold to the college in the manner of a stone finger accusing the sea of ghosts of something. Parts of it have fallen away, which the college regards as evidence of character in prospective students, and the town regards as evidence that mages should not be allowed near masonry. There are also less convenient methods of entry. These include teleportation, levitation, being carried by an Atronach, and arriving inside a crate marked alchemical glassware do not shake. Elaine Dunstane entered by the traditional method, although he very nearly completed the journey by crate. He came up the road from the south wearing a cloak that had begun life as dark green, passed through several philosophical disagreements with the weather, and was now the color of old soup. Snow lay thickly upon his shoulders, ice hung from his pack. One boot had developed an intimate understanding of water and expressed this by squelching every third step. Winterhold appeared through the storm with all the architectural confidence of a village that had recently misplaced most of itself. Elaine stopped beside a signpost. The sign had once indicated the inn, the Jarl's Longhouse, and several streets that no longer existed. Someone had crossed out the missing streets and written "C" beneath them. A local man stood nearby, examining Elaine with somber interest, usually reserved for shipwrecks. "College?" the man asked. Elaine looked up at the enormous stone structure looming beyond town, lit by windows that glowed blue and gold against the snow. "What gave me away?" "You're walking toward it," the man said. "Perhaps I'm sightseeing. No one comes to Winterhold for the sights, mostly because half of them fell into the sea." "So I'd heard." "From a mage, was it?" the man said. "No. Then you heard the truth." The man wandered away, satisfied that he had discharged his civic responsibility. Elaine continued toward the bridge. At its entrance stood an Altmer woman in college robes. She had the tall, composed bearing of someone who had just spent several centuries becoming unimpressed. Snowflakes seemed reluctant to land upon her. Possibly they feared criticism. Halt, she said. So Elaine halted. The wind did not. It pushed him forward another half a step, after which he halted more firmly. I am Feralda, she said. I guard the bridge and admit those who demonstrate sufficient magical aptitude. My name is Elaine Dunstane. That is not a demonstration of magical aptitude. No, I've been able to do it since childhood. Feralda's expression did not change, but somewhere behind it, a small administrative door slammed shut. Why do you seek entry to the college? It was the sort of question that expected words like knowledge, mastery, discipline, and perhaps destiny. Elaine had prepared suitable answer during his journey. Unfortunately, the moment arrived, and the truth got there first. I set fire to my aunt's pantry. Feralda blinked. Accidentally, he added. Of course. Twice. Ah. The second time was while attempting a frost spell. Feralda studied him more carefully. That is either evidence of unusual talent or unusual incompetence. I was hoping the college might help determine which. Behind her, the bridge stretched into the storm. The college's towers rose at the far end, black against the white sky. Very well, she said. Cast a spell of fear. Elaine's heart sank. He knew a fear spell in theory. He had learned it from a book bought cheaply in Windhelm because 6 pages were missing. The cover was scorched, and the previous owner had written no in the margins beside several important paragraphs. On what should I cast it? Feralda pointed toward the rune scratched upon the stone. Cast it there. That's reassuring. Why, she said. I'd expected you to point at a goat. We used to have a goat. What happened? It developed anxiety, Feralda said. Elaine placed his pack on the ground and stretched out his hand. Magic was, according to scholars, the manipulation of magicka through disciplined intent. According to Elaine, it was persuading the universe to do something foolish and hoping it did not ask why. He concentrated. Violet light gathered around his fingers. The rune shimmered. There came a sudden low noise from beneath the bridge. Feralda turned. The bridge itself groaned. A pulse of purple radiance traveled along the parapet. For one remarkable moment, several hundred tons of ancient stone seemed to reconsider its commitment to remaining where it was. Elaine stopped casting. The light vanished, and the bridge settled. A small piece of masonry dropped into the sea. Feralda looked over the edge. Then she looked at Elaine. I believe, she said slowly, that you frightened the bridge. I was aiming for the rune. The rune appears perfectly calm. It may be hiding it. Feralda was silent for several moments. Elaine had the uncomfortable feeling that she was reviewing college regulations and finding to her annoyance that none of them explicitly prohibited terrifying architecture. At last, she stepped aside. Welcome to the College of Winterhold. Really? We admit on magical aptitude, not accuracy. That seems dangerous. You will find, said Feralda, that the college has a complex relationship with danger. Crossing the bridge was an education itself. It taught Elaine about wind, balance, mortality, and the remarkable speed at which a man can regret making jokes about frightened masonry. Feralda walked ahead without difficulty. Elaine followed with both hands gripping the parapet. Far below, the Sea of Ghosts hurled itself against the cliffs, presumably trying to finish what had started during the Great Collapse. Halfway across, Elaine made the mistake of looking down. The sea looked black. I don't suppose there's another entrance, he called. There's a trap door in the midden. Would that have been safer? No. Warmer? No. Less humiliating? Feralda considered. Only if you are fond of skeevers. Elaine looked ahead. The college courtyard emerged through the snow, a broad ring of ancient stone enclosed by towers. At its center stood a statue of a robed mage, one hand raised toward the sky in a gesture that might have represented wisdom, power, or an attempt to discover whether it was still snowing. A woman waited beside the statue. She wore more formal robes and an expression of determined welcome. "Another new apprentice?" she asked. "Elaine Dunstane," said Feralda. "Some aptitude, limited control, the usual." "I frightened the bridge," Elaine explained. The woman nodded as though this were not the strangest introduction statement she had heard that week. "I am Mirabelle Irvine, Master Wizard. I oversee the day-to-day affairs of the college." Elaine glanced up at the towers, one window emitting green smoke, another briefly contained a screaming skull. From somewhere inside came a crash, followed by applause. "That must be demanding. You have no idea. I am beginning to develop one." Mirabelle gave him college robes, a pair of boots, and a hood. The robes were warm, practical, and only smelled faintly of their previous owner. "Did the last student graduate?" Elaine asked. Mirabelle paused and then said, "He left the college." "That was not quite my question. You'll be sleeping in the Hall of Attainment. You're expected to attend instruction, obey senior members of the college, and exercise caution when practicing spells," Mirabelle said. "How much caution?" "All of it," she said. She then escorted him into the hall. A circular chamber opened around a central well of blue magical light. Doors lined the walls. Students moved between them carrying books, ingredients, soul gems, and in one case, a bucket that hissed. "This will be your room," Mirabelle said. The room contained a bed, a table, shelves, a chair, a wash basin, and enough candles to make Elaine reconsider the wisdom of his chosen profession. On the table rested several apples, a wheel of cheese, and a bottle of wine. "Food is provided?" he asked. "In principle," she said. "What does that mean?" "It means the college provides food. Whether it remains where it was placed is another matter. Some apprentices study teleportation." Mirabelle handed him a key. "Your first lesson begins shortly. Tolfdir is instructing the new intake in the Hall of Elements." "What subject?" he said. "Wards." Elaine looked down at his damp cloak, cracked boots, and travel-stained clothes. "Do I have time to change?" "No," she said. "Wash?" "No." "Eat?" Mirabelle considered the question with more sympathy. "Take the cheese." Tolfdir was an elderly Nord with white hair, kind eyes, and the mild air of a man who had survived decades of magical education by accepting that explosions were merely applause from the elements. 3 other apprentices stood before him. Jargo, a Khajiit, introduced himself in third person and with confidence of someone who suspected history was already taking notes. Onmund was a young Nord who seemed slightly embarrassed to possess magical ability, as though it were a social indiscretion. Berlina Marion was a Dunmer whose family expectations followed her around like an invisible and extremely judgmental aunt. Elaine arrived chewing cheese. "Ah," said Tolfdir. "Our final student, welcome." Elaine swallowed. "Sorry I'm late." "You are not late." "Then I apologize for arriving while eating." "This is a school of magic. We must conserve our apologies for larger incidents." The lesson concerned wards. "A ward," Tolfdir explained, "is a defensive magical barrier. It may protect the caster from spells and certain physical attacks." He raised one hand. Shimmering field appeared before him. "Observe the stability of the spell. A ward must be maintained with confidence and concentration." Elaine raised his hand. "Yes?" "What happens if you lose concentration?" "The ward collapses." "And what happens to the spell striking it?" "That depends upon the spell," Tolfdir said. "So does the caster discover the answer before or after regaining consciousness?" Tolfdir smiled, usually after. They practiced in pairs. Onmund produced a ward that flickered but held. Brelina's was smaller and perfectly formed. Jargo's was bright enough to illuminate half the chamber, and he claimed it would have been brighter if the room had not been resisting him. Elaine raised his hands. A pale golden light appeared. It spread into a curved shield. Tolfdir nodded encouragingly. Very good. Maintain it. Elaine concentrated. The ward thickened. Excellent. Now I shall cast a very weak fire spell against. The ward turned opaque, acquired a faint metallic sheen, and dropped to the floor with a clang. Everyone stared at it. Elaine stared hardest. Tolfdir walked over and tapped it with his shoe. You appear to have created a shield. I thought that was the point. A magical shield? Yes, this is an iron shield. Elaine bent down, and it was indeed an iron shield, round, heavy, and decorated with a badly rendered elk. Jargo folded his arms. Jargo is not impressed. Anyone can make a shield. Out of nothing? Asked Onmund. Jargo could if Jargo wished to waste his time. Tolfdir lifted the shield. Conjuration sometimes interacts oddly with restoration. Have you studied either formally? I read a pamphlet, said Elaine. Which one? Words. Why being hit by magic is optional. Tolfdir frowned. I know that pamphlet. It has withdrawn. Why? Said Elaine. The author was hit by magic, said Tolfdir. Elaine's first lesson ended with the shield being placed in a cupboard for later study. The cupboard already gained 2 boots, a silver goblet, 7 identical wooden spoons, and something under a cloth that breathed. No one explained these. Elaine was beginning to understand that education consisted largely of discovering how many things no one intended to explain. The first week passed in a confusion of lectures, meals, experiments, and frantic journeys between towers. Elaine learned that the Hall of Continents contained the senior mage's quarters. The Arcanium housed the library, and the midden beneath the college housed everything the senior mages preferred not to discuss before dinner. He also learned the principal disciplines of magic. Destruction was the art of solving problems by ensuring there was less problem afterwards. Restoration was not, despite widespread opinion, merely the art of making destruction students employable again. Illusion concerned the manipulation of perception, which was a scholarly way of saying that reality was difficult and sometimes benefited from editing. Conjuration involved inviting beings from other planes into the room and trusting everyone's interpretation of temporary. Alteration dealt with changing the physical world. Elaine rather liked alteration. The physical world, in his experience, had room for improvement. Enchanting allowed a mage to place magical properties into objects. This was how one obtained swords that burned, steps, rings that strengthened the wearer, and cutlery that screamed when stolen from the dining hall. The last item had been introduced by Mirabelle. It reduced theft considerably, although breakfast became unsettling whenever someone forgot which spoon was theirs. Elaine's own magical ability remained unpredictable. He could produce light reliably, but it tended to follow the wrong person. His frost spells worked best indoors and least effectively when standing knee-deep in snow. His healing spell once cured a wooden chair of termites, which was useful but not examinable. Then there was the matter of the Atronach. It occurred during conjuration practice. Finis Jester had instructed the apprentices to summon a familiar. The spell was considered elementary. A spectral wolf would appear, remain briefly, then return to whatever metaphysical kennel supplied such creatures. Unmund summoned a wolf. Berlina summoned a wolf. Jargo summoned a larger wolf, and spent several minutes explaining that size was not important. Elaine attempted the spell. There was a flash. A small blue chicken appeared. It looked around the room. Pluck, it said with supernatural depth. Finis frowned. That is not a familiar. It seems familiar with me, Elaine said. The chicken walked over and pecked Elaine's boot. Where did you summon it from? Asked Berlina. I'm not sure, he said. Finis crouched beside it, examining the faint aura around its feathers. This creature is clearly bound by conjuration magic, but I have never encountered anything like it. The chicken pecked his fingers. Finis stood abruptly. Dismiss it. Elaine tried. The chicken remained. He tried again. The chicken became slightly larger. Stop doing that, said Finis. Gladly. The creature followed Elaine for the rest of the day. It followed him to dinner. It followed him to the library. It followed him into a lecture on the ethical limitations of necromancy, where it perched upon a bench and appeared to take a strong position. At midnight, it vanished with a quiet pop, leaving behind a warm egg made of blue glass. Elaine placed the egg on his shelf. At 3 a.m, it hatched into a spoon. This was considered sufficiently unusual, even by college standards, that Urag Groshrub demanded to see it. Urag was the librarian of the Arcanium. He was an orc, which surprised people who believed librarians should be frail, timid creatures, easily defeated by whispering. Urag could silence a room by looking at it, and had once allegedly beaten a Daedroth unconscious with an overdue atlas. His library occupied a vast circular chamber lined with shelves, book-filled tables, cabinets, alcoves, and several spaces that had probably been intended for people. Elaine approached the librarian's desk carrying the blue spoon. Urag inspected it. Where did you get this? It hatched from an egg that laid by a conjured chicken, Elaine said. Urag looked at him, and Elaine waited. You're new, said Urag. Yes. I could tell, he said. Because of the spoon? Because you think explanations help, said Urag. Urag turned over the object. Runes shone along its handle. Interesting. It has a minor enchantment. What does it do? Asked Elaine. Urag placed the spoon on his desk. It immediately pointed toward a nearby shelf. They followed it. The spoon pointed toward a particular book. Urag removed the volume. Its title was Transliminal Poultry, Avian Manifestations Beyond Mundus. Elaine opened his mouth. Urag raised one finger. Do not, the librarian warned, say anything about spoons being useful for research. Elaine closed his mouth. Anyone who makes that joke, Urag continued, loses borrowing privileges. I wasn't going to, said Elaine. You were, said Urag. I was going to say it was an excellent example of sympathetic enchantment. Urag stared at him for several seconds. Get out. By the second week, Elaine had acquired 3 essential possessions of every serious student. Ink stains, sleep deprivation, and opinions about subjects he barely understood. He attended Tolfdir's lectures diligently. Tolfdir spoke in long, wandering paragraphs that frequently left their original subject behind and returned carrying something interesting. A lecture on defensive circles became a discussion of Dwemer door hinges. A lesson concerning paralysis spells led to an anecdote about a cousin in Riften, although no one was entirely certain whose cousin it had been. Once, Tolfdir began explaining the proper method of channeling magicka through a staff, and concluded 40 minutes later that no one should ever trust a horker near an open window. Elaine took extensive notes. He suspected the horker warning would become important later. College life settled into a rhythm. Breakfast, lecture, practice, lunch, more practice, an unexplained alarm, dinner, study, a second unrelated alarm, bed. The alarms were rarely serious. One meant that an apprentice had opened a portal without securing the destination. Another meant that someone had animated a suit of armor and forgotten to tell it when to stop guarding the corridor. On the 17th of Frostfall, a bell rang 11 times. What does it mean? Elaine asked. Berlina looked up from her book. Loose elemental. What kind? If the bell melts, fire. The bell did not melt. If it freezes? Elaine asked. Frost. It did not freeze. If it flies away? Elaine inquired. Storm. They waited. The bell turned into a cabbage. Braylina closed her book. I don't know what that means. They later discovered that neither did anyone else. Elaine's first true academic disaster occurred at the end of his second week. Berlina asked for assistance with an experimental spell. She explained that it was a simple exercise in transformational magic intended to alter perception without affecting physical form. You want to cast it on me? Elaine asked. If you wouldn't mind. What should it do? He asked. Surround you with a harmless green aura. And what might it do? Braylina hesitated. This, Elaine had learned, was an important distinction in magical scholarship. It might produce minor disorientation, she said. How minor? He asked. You may momentarily forget your name. I only use it socially, he said. Berlina held up her hands. It's perfectly safe. Behind her, Jargo quietly moved his chair farther away. Elaine noticed. Berlina noticed Elaine noticing. Jargo is merely giving the experiment room, said Jargo. Jargo is giving it 3 tables and a supporting pillar, Elaine replied. Nevertheless, he agreed there are moments when a student stands at a crossroads between caution and discovery. Caution is usually warmer, better lit, and has fewer stains on the ceiling. Discovery, however, is where one's friends are waiting with an untested spell. Berlina cast her spell. A green light enveloped Elaine. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then every piece of furniture in the room became convinced it was a goat. The chairs began bleeding. The tables stamped their legs. A wardrobe charged Onmund. The bed ate Elaine's pillow. Berlina shouted counterspells while Jargo climbed a bookcase and offered advice from a strategically valuable height. Reverse the polarity, Elaine said. What polarity? Berlina shouted. Whichever one is wrong, he said. Elaine seized the charging wardrobe by both handles. It dragged him across the room. Do something, he said. I am doing something, said Berlina. Do something magical. I'm negotiating, she said. The wardrobe kicked a stool. The stool bleated indignantly. At last, Berlina completed the counterspell. There was a flash. Every object returned to normal. Elaine lay on the floor beneath the wardrobe door. Feathers from the devoured pillow drifted through the air. Onmund helped him up. Are you all right? I believe so, he said. What is your name? Elaine considered. Wardrobe. Berlina went pale, then Elaine smiled. She struck him with a cushion. It was the beginning of their friendship. In his 3rd week, Elaine discovered that the college had politics. This disappointed him. He had imagined that mages, being devoted to higher mysteries, would exist above petty disputes. Higher mysteries gave petty disputes greater altitude. The destruction scholars believed restoration lacked ambition. Restoration scholars believed destruction lacked adult supervision. The conjuration scholars insisted that summoning Daedra was perfectly safe when performed correctly, a phrase that had preceded many important creators. The illusion scholars claimed they had no quarrel with anyone, although it was difficult to know whether this was true. The alteration scholars argued the division between magical schools was an artificial construct. Everyone else asked them to leave. At the center of the college authority was Archmage Savos Aaron, who possessed dignity, wisdom, and the invaluable administrative talent of being absent whenever something caught fire. Elaine met him only once during those first weeks. He was carrying a stack of books through the courtyard when the Archmage emerged from the Hall of Elements. "You are one of the new apprentices," Savos said. "Yes, Archmage, I am." "How are you finding the college?" Savos said. Elaine shifted the books in his arm. He thought about the frightened bridge, the iron ward, the conjured chicken, the research spoon, the goat furniture, and the cabbage spell. "Educational," he said. Savos nodded gravely. "This is what we aim for." Just then, a distant tower emitted a flash of red light. Someone screamed, "It has learned to open doors!" Savos looked toward the sound, then looked back at Elaine. "Some days," the Archmage said, "we aim better than others." He walked away briskly. By the end of Elaine's first month, Winterhold no longer seemed quite so cold. This was partly because he had grown accustomed to it, and partly because one of his classmates had enchanted his left boot to remain permanently warm. The right boot had resisted enchantment and was now, for reasons nobody could explain, waterproof only on Tuesdays. He knew the safest path across the bridge in high winds. He knew which dining hall chairs were still faintly goatly. He knew never to ask Orag whether a book was available unless he was prepared to explain why he deserved it. He knew that Tolfdir's digressions were often more valuable than his intended lesson. He knew Onmund missed his family and would not admit it. That Braylina feared disappointing hers, and Jargo's confidence became louder whenever he was uncertain. He also knew that magic was far larger than he had imagined. It was not merely fire called into the hand or light conjured in darkness. It was history and argument. It was mathematics performed upon reality. It was instinct forced into discipline and forced through a wall. Magic was dangerous, but so were swords, horses, bad weather, ambitious jarls, cheap mushrooms, and conversations that began with, "I've been thinking." At least magic was honest enough to glow beforehand. One evening, Elaine stood in the courtyard beneath the green and violet sweep of the aurora. Snow moved softly between the towers. The college windows shone against the dark, each one suggesting warmth, study, or a small, manageable emergency. Far below, the broken town crouched beside the sea. Far above, stars glittered like holes picked in the roof of the world. Elaine raised one hand. He summoned a light. The spell appeared exactly as intended, a clear white orb, steady and bright. It hovered above his palm. He stared at it in astonishment. Nothing exploded, nothing transformed. No livestock appeared. The bridge remained emotionally stable. For the first time since arriving, Elaine had cast the spell perfectly. The orb rose into the night. It floated across the courtyard, illuminating the snow. Then it accelerated through an open window. There came a shout from inside the Hall of Continents. A moment later, one of the senior mages leaned out. "Dunstane!" Elaine lowered his hand. "Yes? Is this your light?" he inquired. "It may be," said Elaine. "It's in my bath." "Sorry," Elaine said. "Make it go away." "I haven't learned that part yet." And then the window slammed shut. Elaine stood amid the snow, listening to muffled curses and frantic splashing. He smiled. It was not perhaps the triumphant beginning to a grand magical career, but it was a beginning. And the College of Winterhold had learned something too. It had learned to keep an eye on Elaine Dunstane, preferably from behind a ward.